Everyone you chose to meet on your life path will appear at exactly the right moment. September 2, 2013. Much attention is being focused on the troubling situation in the Middle East, and this is understandable because your compassion flows to those who are suffering there. But do not forget to focus also on being love in action all day every day, while not judging those whom you think are causing those problems, because in truth they too are suffering and are equally deserving of your love and compassion. Only a constant flow of love can resolve that situation, and you who are reading this chose to be incarnate on earth at this time so that you could send your love to those who are suffering anywhere on earth due to military conflicts, or for any other reason. Suffering is an enormously powerful distraction that tends to draw you deeper into the illusion. It can lead you to forget to make your daily intent to be love in action, while those involved in conflicts are frequently so distracted by their own suffering and that of loved ones that they find it almost impossible to enter their quiet inner space even for a moment, where they can access the spiritual help they so dearly need. Your intent to send love to those who are suffering is very effective and does help them to experience brief moments of peace despite the intense distractions of their unhappy environment. As you know, the divine energy field in which everything has its eternal existence is composed of love, so that everything that exists is therefore composed of love. The limitations that are the characteristics of the illusion are the result of attempting to live without love, separated from it. The power of love is infinite, and by entering the illusion and attempting to separate yourselves from your divine source you effectively reduce the power, the life force available to you enormously. It is as though, using electricity as an analogy, all the immense power flowing out of an Earth-based electrical power station was available to you, but you chose to reduce it to the level at which it would barely light a lamp. That is why it is in your best interests to wake up. When you do so you will cease to reduce the power level of the love that flows through you constantly, and without which you would not and could not exist, but will allow it to flow without restriction of any kind, and you will then know yourselves as you truly are, beings of immense influence, of immense light. Awake and fully conscious, you could not even conceive of the way of life that you are experiencing in the illusion. It is truly beyond understanding, and yet you cling to it in fear, unable to conceive of life without it, with many believing that life ends permanently with the laying down of their human bodies. Nothing that God creates dies. Death is an illusory concept, merely a move forwards, a progression to a state of being that is way beyond your present severely limited experience of what life means. It is not to be feared. The time at which a human lays down her body is not random. Accidents and illness are experiences on the life path that you planned, and everything that happens to you is part of your own personal plan. That is not apparent to you while embodied, although some of you are rather good at getting an intuitive sense of what your future path entails. The thing to be aware of is that you are each on the path home to reality, the state in which love fills you with the infinite power and joy in which you were created, and of which you are fully and eternally aware. You are all destined for eternal joy in the eternal presence of God, the loving source of all creation, and your homeward paths have been uniquely and individually tailored for you to encounter precisely the experiences and lessons that you chose, before you incarnated, to undergo. Nothing that happens to you is by chance, although you may well feel that some of your experiences just had to be accidental because you cannot imagine any other cause. However, once you accept that nothing that happens to you is a chance occurrence, it becomes much easier for you to see and learn the lessons with which your lives present to you. And when this happens you will find life flows more easily for you with far less stress. This is because you have effectively made the choice to accept the situations that arise, instead of fighting against them and blaming others, or God, for any misfortunes that befall you. Wherever it is that you are experiencing life on planet Earth, it is where you chose to be for the lessons that you elected to experience and learn. Where you were born, to whom, and where you live are no more chance occurrences than any other events that happen to you. It is impossible for you to understand these reasons while you remain on Earth as humans, and utterly impossible for you to make sense of another's life path. You have no need to. If you meet or become aware of someone whom you could help, then do so. It will be one of your lessons. But you do not need to go seeking out people to help. You may certainly choose to do so, but everyone you chose to meet on your human life path, for the lessons that you could learn together or teach each other, will appear at exactly the right moment. Your life paths will always unfold just as planned. The fact that they may displease or delight you does not alter that fact. Pay attention to each moment by living in the now as consistently as you can. Doing that is the most effective way to follow your paths and learn your lessons with the minimum of discomfort. When you created your life paths, you built into them all kinds of allowances to enable you to provide for the myriad choices within each and every situation that comes up. Think of all the choices you make, moment by moment, choices you could not foresee, and from which you had to therefore provide alternative routes forward. To proceed most efficaciously, trust the path that opens before you and proceed lovingly and compassionately along it. It is the most direct way home. Your loving brother, Jesus. Channeled by John Smallman. johnsmallman2.wordpress.com